Meghan threw away her chance to become the most famous woman in the world, to become one of the most hated women in the world. And now she has nothing. Let's find out Meghan's process of losing everything in this video. I can guarantee you that even though most members of the royal family know all about Meghan Markle's sketchy past, they were still nice to her. They treated her with respect. Even at the very beginning of their relationship, Meghan Markle was treated better than any other royal girlfriend had ever been treated. And at the time, many people thought that Meghan was going to become the most famous royal. But now her reputation is in tatters, and she has nothing to show for her time spent as a royal. But honestly, what other ending could there be for such lazy and greedy people? If Meghan had just been cooperative with the royal family, I think things could have been a lot different. But Meghan didn't want the guidance of the late queen, a woman everybody respects, and she was always so jealous of the Princess of Wales. Now, Catherine is a royal family member who is known for her hard work and also her elegance and her class. Meghan wasn't satisfied with having to bow and curtsy to other people. Of course, it was just a cultural, traditional show of respect, but a selfish, narcissistic person like Meghan Markle could never accept that. When she finally accepted the harsh reality that Harry was never going to become king and so she would never become queen, she decided to tell him they had to leave, and then they went on to try their best to destroy the royal family. I mean, we have had so many accusations of bullying staff, failed high-level visits, and deceitful interviews. So obviously, Meghan Markle has tried hard to ruin the image of the royal family. But luckily, in the face of these baseless accusations, the royal family is still strong. People still trust the royals. Unfortunately, this tormented the late Queen, though, and Prince Philip in the last years of their lives. And this is why most people can never forgive Harry and Meghan for what they have done. Now, Meghan Markle tries to keep this mask on. She tries to convince everybody that she's a kind, compassionate person, but the mask is always slipping. People don't see an actress passionately in love with the royal prince anymore. Honestly, folks, all it really takes is a narcissistic evil witch like Meghan Markle, somebody who takes herself way too seriously and is a big fan of word salad too, always pulling the racism card to act like she's a victim and try to get sympathy. There's nothing more to her. But I think one of Meghan's most controversial issues is the fact that allegedly she did have a hysterectomy, but she faked being pregnant not once but twice. And now both of those children are listed in the line of succession. And of course, most people agree that Meghan should be ignored because that's the best way to handle a narcissist. If we just don't pay attention to her, we are depriving her of her narc fuel. The only issue that we still need to talk about is all the unanswered questions about the pregnancy. I think it's way too important to just forget about it. It was really a double standard, the way that the press tortured Princess Catherine just because she had surgery, but they don't bother finding out the truth about these invisible kids. There needs to be real evidence given to the people of the realm that the kids actually were born from Meghan Markle's body, because only then do they have a right to be listed in the line of succession. I would say it's also in the best interest of the kids, too. I mean, finally, people are going to stop speculating about them. All they have to do is just provide a DNA test. Well, the results, rather. I mean, honestly, if the kids are real, they are innocent in this whole debacle. They didn't do anything wrong. And if the integrity of the line of succession has indeed been corrupted, then people have something to worry about. It is one aspect of the bond of trust between them and the monarchy that simply cannot be undermined. If it's undermined, that's a very dangerous precedent. Thankfully, though, we still have the Wales children, and it's pretty obvious who their parents are. And Prince George is the most important child in the current history of the UK. After him, of course, it's going to be Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis, so I don't think the citizens of the UK and the Commonwealth have anything to worry about. Prince William and his 3 gorgeous kids and their children are all going to come before Harry and his 2 invisibles. And about the invisibles, well, it seems like Harry and Meghan, the alleged parents, are too busy flying all over the world in private jets without their kids to actually be real responsible parents. I don't think either of them is nurturing. I mean, just look at the way Meghan acted when she did that little charity visit at Children's Hospital in LA. She was so phony. At home, I don't believe that she reads books to those kids. I mean, who knows where they even came from? Everything is just for PR, whether they're kids that she hired or asked somebody to carry for her, or children with cancer, as in the case of the hospital visit. And all of that is unforgivable. I mean, using sick kids just to get attention for herself, it's disturbing, it's disgusting. Other celebrities go and visit sick kids, sure, but they don't call the paparazzi to make sure they get it all on film. And when compared to other members of the royal family, it's obvious that Meghan is not really interested in real charity work. She's classless. Her character didn't match the aristocratic style of the royal family either. And because of her complete lack of work ethic and class, she fell short. She really didn't succeed. People who actually have class, people who have household staff who have class treat their staff well. The royal family is a perfect example of this. Their staff are treated with a lot of respect. They don't demean the people who work for them. I mean, even if they work menial jobs, they're still shown respect. Their employees are treated well. It's people who have no class, like Meghan Markle, who are so abusive towards their staff. It was pretty clear that Meghan Markle was really lacking in etiquette and manners. I mean, as soon as she got that ring on her finger, she started with the bullying against staff members, and then also she would make those little digs against Catherine. Her behavior has been disgusting this whole time. And she is so incredibly jealous of Catherine, it's really scary. I wouldn't trust her anywhere near the Wells family. The royal family, though, most of them were friendly and lovely, and it didn't shock me that William and Catherine were treated like everybody else at the market. When William and Catherine lived in Wales, they were treated like just another neighbor or friend. So the people of the UK already have a history of giving the royals the privacy they deserve. They give them their peace and they treat them like they should, as just another neighbor. Honestly, I think it's wonderful. But Meghan, on the other hand, oh no, that's not what we see with her. She was always whining and telling Harry that she didn't have any right to privacy, and he even tried to criticize the media for being so cruel to Meghan. But last time I checked, it was Harry and Meghan who were the noisy ones. I mean, how many times has Meghan called up the paparazzi to take her photo? But at the same time, Harry whines that he's the victim. If the press was really bothering them, if they were really so vicious like Harry and Meghan want us to believe, I suspect the truth about Archofficial and Invisibet would have already come out. The obvious truth is that nobody cares about the two of them. I mean, Meghan Markle is an ex-Z-list actress, and Harry is the ex-prince. Speaking of Archofficial and Invisibet, I do remember reading that Archie was a pretty popular name with middle-class British people. And later on, I read about the secret family code name for Prince George, and then it was pretty clear to me why Meghan Markle insisted on choosing that name. And I think it also had something to do with that comic book that she was such a big fan of when she was a kid. And later on, she followed up with Lilibet so that she could steal a pet name that was used for the late queen. Now, when she was a young girl, she called herself Lilibet because she couldn't really say Elizabeth. But that was a name that only people very close to the late queen were able to use, family members, and also her beloved husband. It was a private, cute nickname that she used. And then she had her last years ruined by Harry and Meghan. They need to face consequences for their awful behavior. Meghan also took full advantage of Harry's jealousy towards William to fulfill her own goals of changing the monarchy. I still cannot for the life of me understand, though, what kind of modernizing of the monarchy Meghan thought was necessary. All these media people keep talking about how she wanted to modernize the monarchy, but I've never really heard anything specific about what that would have entailed. I mean, as a family, I don't see how you can modernize a family. I mean, maybe she wanted to charge people to attend events like Trooping of the Colour. And maybe she wanted to charge people when they went to see the royal family members carrying out engagements. I wouldn't be surprised. Perhaps she would have liked to install a turnstile on the mall with an entry fee for balcony appearances. Meghan Markle's ego made her believe that she could overthrow a 1,000-year-old monarchy and then remake it in her own image. It's delusional, yes, but again, it's Meghan Markle we're talking about. All she really needed to do was follow a few basic rules and just show good etiquette, and she could have lived in the lap of luxury for the rest of her life. It is amazing to think about how badly she messed up. Meghan also could have broken all kinds of barriers when it comes to race, and she could have been an important part of the institution. She could have dedicated the rest of her life to service to the country and the Commonwealth. There are so many classy, smart black women in the US, and I'm sure there are just as many in the UK. And Harry, why couldn't he have chosen one of them? It has nothing to do with race. I guess he chose Meghan because really, they're a lot alike. They are two peas in a pod. See, Harry wanted somebody who would stick the middle finger up to his family and help him fight with his older brother. He is such an idiot. Meghan Markle has also implied that she was so surprised that people were so interested in her biracial heritage when she joined the royal family. Well, okay, I mean, she had hidden it or covered it up all her life, so I guess that's why. Meghan has publicly stated that she never felt like a black woman until she came to the UK, like that's something to be upset about. Soon enough, though, she realized that there is power in using that race card, and since then she's been pulling it all the time. Another thing is, if Meghan Markle is really such a proud black woman, then why was it that she didn't want anybody to talk about her race? She hates the royals and the British public for talking about the fact that she is biracial. Apparently, she didn't want her race to be recognized at certain times to her benefit. But of course, she didn't want it to be recognized most of the time. She wanted to be viewed as white like the rest of the family she had become a part of. But at the same time, she wanted to retain the right to pull the race card whenever something didn't go her way. Now, Meghan Markle, it's hard to say at this point, obviously, because when I see her, I just see who she is as a person. But I think if I didn't know who she was, I might think she was a little bit attractive. She's not beautiful like Catherine, of course not. But I could see how somebody could be attracted to her. But God, when you get to know what is on the inside, all you can see is how hideous she is. And that's why she doesn't have any long-term friends, and that's why she's so unpopular. I mean, just look at how she treats her own family, her father, her siblings. She's cut them off completely. It doesn't matter what your skin color is. If you are as awful inside as Meghan is, nobody's going to think you're beautiful. And that's because, yeah, it doesn't really matter what she does to the outside. The inside is still so rotten and so evil. And I believe that Meghan is more than capable of discriminating against other people, especially people of color. Meghan Markle showed a lot of bias when she said that she refused the offer of help from one of the late Queen's most respected and trusted equerries, and that makes her a racist, and she refused the help just because he was black. So Meghan Markle thought that she needed to learn from white people. From watching footage of her on some of her royal engagements, especially in South Africa, it's pretty clear that she feels uncomfortable around people of color. All Meghan had to do, though, as a working member of the royal family, was understand her station, understand her place in the hierarchy, and just be a team player and do her job well. But Meghan Markle never wanted to be a part of the team. That's one of the biggest problems. She didn't want to be a team player. She just wanted to reap all the benefits of the membership of the royal family and use the connections to make herself rich and also famous. It has become abundantly clear that Meghan Markle just uses people and things to serve herself. Her overinflated ego and her sense of entitlement has ruined her forever. We will never forget everything that she has done, and at this point, her ruined reputation precedes her. It's always going to be like that. For that horrible woman, there is no chance of success. She's just going to set herself up for failure after failure. And that brings us to the end of this video. What do you think about Meghan Markle's social climbing journey? Don't hesitate to express your opinion by leaving us a comment. And if you agree with my opinion, please like and share the video. Your support is our motivation. And let's subscribe to get notifications about the newest videos. We'll be back soon. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.